Lesson 20 is another day of the same stuff we did for lesson 19. Here in the beginning, you have a blank space. We're going to do small groups where I talk to you about your exit ticket from the day before we review it. I want you to write the key pieces from that discussion here as a reminder for the rest of your lesson. So going straight to the challenge here at the bottom. Groups 3 and 4, I'd like you to do the exploratory challenge in pairs. Instead of going on and listening to me, please stop the video and work with each other to solve 1 and 2 here, and then check back in the video to see that you do it correctly. Mallory is on a budget and wants to determine which cereal is a better buy. A 10-ounce box of cereal, so we have 10 ounces, is $2.79, but a 13-ounce box is $3.99 of another brand. So which box should she buy? In order to compare them, we have to have the same value for one of our numbers. So I prefer a tape diagram. You also don't have enough room here to create a graph. And I prefer a ratio table. You don't have enough room for a tape diagram or a graph. So what I'm going to do then is do our ratio tables over here. So our first one, we have 10 ounces and $2.79. So here is my cost and my ounces. And then over on this side, I'm going to do the other one, which was 13 ounces, and my cost was $3.99. So looking at these, I want to see how much does 1 ounce cost. You also could say how much would $1 buy, but because these are decimals and it's a lot easier to divide by a whole number than a decimal, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go from 10 ounces to 1 ounce, 13 ounces to 1 ounce. Now, here's where I think that you should just use a calculator. You can do it on paper. If you like doing long division and that's something that you feel is easiest, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I ask that you just use a calculator. So what we're doing here is we are determining what those rates are. So I'm going from a 10 to a 1, which means I'm dividing by 10, divide by 10. 279 divided by 10 would be 0.279. Over here, I'm going from a 13 to a 1, so 13 would be divided by 13, and 399 divided by 13 gives me my rate of 30. And I just stop at that third since that was at the third. So looking at these numbers, I have a 279 thousandths and a 306 thousandths. 279 is a smaller number, and so she should buy the 10-ounce box because this is rounding it would be 28 cents to 31 cents. And it is 3 cents cheaper per ounce, which would be our rate. So looking at the unit price, it says, what is the difference between the two unit prices? Well, we have 27 cents to 1 ounce. So this is cents to ounce. And then you have 30. Technically, it should be 28. I'm sorry, you want to round because that's a 9. This one would be 31 cents to an ounce. This is cost to ounce. And the difference would be 3 cents per ounce. Now, what I want you to recognize is we actually have a way that we can do this without doing a ratio table. So in a way, when they're talking about unit price, I want you to use this equation instead. So the equation would be for unit price, you're going to take, just like rate, I've actually told you this equation before, unit price is equal to your cost divided by the amount. So for these ones, all I would have to do is actually take my cost, 279, divided by 10, and that would give me my answer. This one, I just had to do 399 cost divided by my amount, which was 13 ounces. And just remember that this is going to be cost per ounce. And what I found was the cost was 28 cents per ounce, and this one was 31 cents per ounce. And that's really how you do unit price. So another quick example of it. Vivian wants to buy a watermelon. Kingston Market has 10-pound watermelons for $3.90, but the farmer's market has 12-pound watermelons for $4.44. Remember, we can do a unit price, which is a rate for a price, and it is your cost divided by the amount. So my cost for the King's Market, and I'm just going to call it KM, is $3.90 divided by 10, which is 0.39, which means it's 39 cents per pound of watermelon. My other one, which is the farmer's market, so I'm going to put farmer's market, cost $4.44 for 12 pounds. So all I do is $4.44 divided by 12. I'm going to use my calculator for that one. $4.44 divided by 12 is 37 cents. And then my rate would be my 37 cents per pound of watermelon. And what is the difference between my two unit prices? The difference between them would be 2 cents. And looking at my prices, I'd buy it from the farmer's market because it's cheaper per pound. Please go ahead and go on to C. Make sure you answer both questions to get checked to move on to your checkpoint. I'm going to make sure you can do all different types. So I'm going to have you do C and F actually before you come to me. So again, that's C and F for me to check those two to see if you would need to do another example using different representations of the data before you go on to your checkpoint.